Alright, everybody, welcome back. This is day 3 of the quest for 600 ELO in Rapid. Since yesterday, I have played a few games. I have won a few games in Rapid. Currently sitting at 542, which I believe, when we ended up yesterday, I was about around 510. Obviously, I'm not going to record every game I do. I'm just kind of trying to include a couple every day, just to get a general sense of the progress. But won some really good ones. Deserved? Not sure, but sitting at 542. And we will get into another one. I have been playing a bit of Blitz. Just trying to get my quick thinking skills up. Of course, still doing a lot of puzzles. Which hopefully we should be able to see progress soon. So, playing against the alphabet, up to Q, from India, at 550. We get offered the England Gambit. Seems like a very popular gambit when playing Queen Pawn. And I'm honestly not entirely sure on really how to handle this completely. I'm gonna go knight f3 here, and we take here. Could defend. I think we won't take. Just trying to keep presence in the center. Could go bishop here, but then he plays f6. Yeah, we'll just go bishop right. I think that's what we'll do. Debating on if this game I want to castle long. But yeah, this is my best defense of the England Gambit. Maybe after this game we'll look into kind of exactly what to play with the England Gambit. I don't think he'll take, because then I take queen, trade off queens, he can't castle. So I don't think he's going to take, at least not yet. Also wouldn't be surprised if he goes knight there. Okay. Seems like a pretty natural move. We could go... I suppose there's a lot we could do. We could move this pawn up. We could move this pawn up. We've got options. I think I'm just going to move this knight out, and we'll castle... Attempt to castle along? Yeah, we'll just move the knight out. I don't certainly dislike this position. Okay. He just takes. In that case, we just trade off queens. He takes with king, and we take this pawn. Sorry about that. I did get interrupted for a little bit there, but I am here now. My opponent has not been playing well this game. He has blundered a couple pieces, allowed me to get, I guess, somewhat of a positional advantage. His rook does have this open file, which is a little concerning. There's knight g6. And I guess he's trying to get his knight down here. Honestly, could play g3. Or we could castle. I think I'm just going to castle while I have the opportunity to. There's also castle check, which is pretty cool. I don't get to see a lot of castle check too often. And good block with bishop, but he moves the king. Okay. This point, I'm thinking now we gotta develop this bishop. Go pawn up here. Could also just attack the bishop as well. In which case... I think I'll just move the pawn up. Goes knight there. Oh, he's creating a bit of an attack here on my rook. Good block. Although this does prove to be... I think we'll attack. I had his knight for free. I completely disregarded I had his knight for free. Regardless, if he takes, we take. And honestly, I really don't hate this for myself. This could have gone better, obviously. Could have just taken that knight and avoided the rook loss altogether, but really, not terrible for me. A bit low on time, but still up 5 points. I still think I have a pretty good, solid advantage here. He does have 2 rooks compared to my rook, but we have an extra knight and an extra bishop. And these knights. We're probably going to be pretty active here. Where my king, not in a great spot, but I do like the fact he doesn't have any bishops. Okay. Plays king there. Trying to think where I want to go. I want to activate this rook, get this knight, this bishop to a good diagonal. I think this is a good diagonal. Targets the weak pawn on f7 and is in line with his pawn or his rook. And then we move. I guess we play rook d1. I mean, he keeps the king here. Trade off rooks. And I'm liking this. So I'm expecting that he knows... He might just move king here. Might just do that. Although we could still off the rook trade. Even then. I don't know. I've definitely made some very questionable moves this game, but... Ultimately, I think I should be able to win this as long as I play... Don't blunder. Play decently. Okay. I think we just execute the plan. Play check and trade out rooks. And then we take this pawn. Target the knight. Knight can't really move forward. Only place this knight can really go is over here. Or go back here, but... Okay, he goes back. He goes back. Could move in... Well, we could trade these. I don't really see why not. Now he's just got a rook, and at this point, I think I'll play check. Could also defend the bishop. I don't have anything sneaky, do I? No sneaky tactics? No, I don't think so. I think I'll just play check. Play check, and get our pawns moving at this point. We're just gonna see what we can do here. Obviously, don't want to leave this knight hanging. Gonna move our king in. I'm gonna move the king. I don't know if that's a very rational move, but it is a move. Move this pawn up. As long as I don't hang any pieces, I should be good here. Plays check. Okay. I don't think this really helps him. Gotta keep in mind this bishop is hanging, in case he tries to target it. Moves that pawn up. He moves this up, I take this pawn. If he moves this up, I just take. Okay. We could offer the trade here. I don't know if I want my knight on the very side of the board, though. That's the thing. Gonna move this up. Slowly making our way to promotion here. That pawn up. Ooh. I don't know. Am I scared of this? Not really. I think I just play this. This knight will be undefended, but, okay, he just moves that pawn up. I guess I take here? I don't know if it matters too much. I'm gonna take here. This is essentially a free pawn. Is that we take, and then move this up. We'll move this up here, and if he moves his pawn down, we just play. Don't have check. Actually, moving the knight here was pretty bad because it blocks the bishop. That was a little bit of a miss on my part. I think I'll just move the king over. There we go. Playing this very carefully. Extremely carefully. And at this point, he really doesn't have many options. Pawn's hanging. I'm trying to keep a hanging... You just promote... Okay. I mean, I'm fine with that. I think he's just really thrown in the towel at this point. Okay, targets my knights. I will simply move the knight. I'm not to hang this pawn right now. But I don't think there... Can I save this pawn? I don't think I can. We might have to just sack the pawn. Wow, he doesn't even... He just gives me the rook. Alright, well this is GG. Right here. Just gonna promote. Really just gonna promote and win. Can only move... this is guaranteed promotion right here. And then we do the old... I guess we'll do the old queen and king 8. So... I'm gonna move the king up there. Yeah, he can only go... Can he only move the pawn? No, he can only move the pawn. I gotta be careful. I gotta be careful not to take. I play check here. If I took that pawn, that's bad news right there. Is this mate? This is mate. There we go. There we go. 550. Good game. A few minor mistakes in that game, but overall, honestly, I think it's more in my opponent for me winning this game. He blundered so much. I'll review here in 1 second. Alright, so 91% accuracy. That is really nice. I don't know if I've played with 90% accuracy in a game this many turns before. 2 great moves, 19 best, 12 excellent, 5 good, 2 book. Only the 1 inaccuracy, really, and everything else was just solid. Let's walk through here. So he plays the England Gambit. Obviously, I take. So in this case, move this knight out. Okay. I do defend the pawn with bishop. That's the good move. I move this knight out next. Which, yeah, I guess I could move that pawn up. I do move this pawn up later for that bishop to get out. We trap the queens. I prevent him from castling. I take a free pawn, which is apparently an inaccuracy. Yeah, I guess he does. I mean, I get a free pawn here. Still have that castle check. I do eventually play that castle check. Well, I guess it took a while for me to actually see it. I've noticed a pattern where if you have a free piece, and you also have check, it is usually better to play check than take the piece. Something I've noticed. I guess it's more so just to gain the positional advantage with the open file as soon as possible. Regardless, I take the free pawn. I take another free pawn. He targets my bishop. I bring back. These are all fine. I finally do the castle check here. And I could have moved my knight up there. Yeah, I guess that would have been a good spot for my knight. Kind of played a bit passively with my knights. And this was the move where I blundered a free knight. Completely free knight. And I somehow just missed that. I don't know what I was thinking. I don't know if I just ignored that the bishop was there, or I just thought, I don't know what I was thinking, but anyways, this works out for me. Apparently in this case, I should move the rook there first. I guess if he moves knight out, I take the bishop. Oh, a knight and a bishop for a rook seems like a pretty fair trade. It's equal points. Although my king is in not a great spot here. And having that rook with the open file was nice. So I suppose I should have tried to keep that rook on the open file. And at this point, I'm just trying to trade off pieces until I inevitably checkmate. And, we play a pretty decent endgame here. Yeah, knight here makes more sense than moving the king there. I really had no reason to. I was a little scared of this pawn promoting, but there was really no chance if I went knight d2. There was really, not really a threat. I don't know why he promoted there. But, yeah, at this point, it's mate in 3, mate in 2. And I think I could have mated in one less move. Notice I have mate in 2 here, and it's still mate in 2. What, go knight there, and then queen here? No, because he can go there. I'm just trying to see mate. And then this is mate in 1. What's the checkmate? Oh, wow. Knight b5 checkmate. Wow, that's... Yeah. If I'm not checkmating with a queen, then... or rooks, say, I do find it somewhat difficult to see checkmate in the least amount of moves, but... Yeah, a good game. And we'll jump right into another one here. A solid first game. And we're doing our last game here. Worst case, I lose, and I'm back at the same ELO I was when the session started, playing a 558 from... I don't even know. Anyways, playing the Caracan. This is an interesting attack. The ELO attack? I don't know if I'm familiar with this, but seemingly offering me a free pawn, which I'm gonna take. Brings the bishop out. Interesting. Few options here. Could just bring the knight out. No, I don't think that's a good idea. I think I should bring bishop out. I think this is a logical move. Oh. I don't like where this is going. Oh, and I already see a blunder. Yeah, I already see one. Ah, wait, no. I think g6 is fine. I was going to say defending this bishop, but I don't know if there's a... Oh. And I see the threat. And I'm sure he sees it too. He moves the queen. I gotta be careful here. I'm not familiar with this attack. You know, a bit scholars matey. But I think... This is fine. Could go bishop here. And I think I like this move. I hope I'm not missing anything. I really hope I'm not missing anything here. Gotta turn my music down a tad. Now, I do know. I mean, creating a threat here, although it's not really a threat based in anything. At this point, could go knight up here. Could also move the queen. Although I don't know how good of an idea that really is. You know, and then we have some other ideas. Could go and get this bishop out. Which, this bishop is almost trapped, I'm pretty sure. I think this is a good move, because the bishop has to go here. And, unfortunately, I blunder. I blunder hard. I completely forget about the threat on the rook. This is a big problem of mine, where I just completely... I acknowledge threats and then just completely forget about them. Okay, so... We go and trap the bishop, right? Trap the bishop like that, or trap the bishop like... This is a little tough. But I do know I want to trap this bishop. I think only logical move here is to go this. Which traps the bishop. So a bishop for a rook. I've already used so much time this game. This is going to be one of those games where I need to take a deep analysis at the opening, because obviously I did not know how to properly react to this attack, and it definitely costed me. He goes bishop up there, and I also could have just taken bishop, which I probably should have done. Man, you can tell I'm not on my A game exactly today. I do apologize for that. I'm a little tired. Recording this later than I usually would. And now this is a very strange position. I'm not entirely sure how to handle it. I'm thinking we Alright, my thoughts are move this out. Make room for the knight. Castle. I'm not castling on this side. What am I talking about? I am targeting some of these pawns. I don't really see a clear threat here. I think the idea is go king here, threaten to take. He takes a pawn for free. Wait, I thought that pawn was Oh, I moved the pawn defending it. I am not... I have a... And I also inadvertently pinned my knight in the process. Now I have to move this out. To defend... Then he could take and pin... Oh, no. If he takes... If I move here... If he takes... I think I should move the queen here. Prevent that pin. Queen here? Or here? I think here makes sense. Man, this has been an ugly game. A very ugly game. He just takes the knight. I take the bishop with queen. And he is still up that rook. That really hasn't changed. Trying to get any position, any advantage here that I can, obviously. He's just going to try to keep trading out pieces. And should I take? I don't think... Probably takes with bishop. I don't want to... I don't like the look of that attack. I think I'm just going to defend that. Okay. We'll go knight here. And I think the logic with this is preparing to... Yeah. This is... This is getting ugly very quickly for me, and I very quickly am realizing how this game is going to end. I cannot propose a queen trade. He takes the knight for free. He takes the rook for free, and this game is just about over. After we trade out queens, he doesn't go for the queen trade. He just takes a pawn, but realistically, this game is over for me. There is little to nothing I can do here. I can play check here, which he can't block this. So at the very least, I will make him lose castling rights, but obviously it's still going to take a miracle for me to... he blocks with pawn, makes sense. I sort of waste a move there. We play here to defend the knight, and... I mean, this game is just... The only way to wrap up this game is just... blunders galore. Really the only way. I almost want to say I can take here, but he has the knight. Moves the knight there. Pressuring that. Defends with that. I can't put the bishop there. Could put the knight... could put the queen here. I think this idea works. But, yeah, this was probably, I would say out of these 3 days, this is easily the ugliest game. And I'm sure there'll be many more ugly games like this, but this is, hey, it's going to be a good game to learn from, because a great example of what not to do. Okay, he plays a3. We can go... Can't do that. Bishop looking at the knight. Thinking... Making this knight more useful. This bishop is also not looking too useful. Might want to redirect this bishop. Yeah, and if he plays that, what would I take? Take, then he takes that. So I have to... I'd like to find some way to block this. I'm thinking take here now. I'm thinking take there, get the bishop away from threatening my knight, because I do not like the look of this attack on my knight. And we move the queen. There should be a good space, I think. Yeah, but this is... I'm pretty much toast. I'm pretty much completely toast here. I wouldn't even blame him if he wants to take my bishop, trade out his queen. Even that's not a bad move. Goes knight there, which... What's the goal here exactly? Not exactly sure what the goal is here. Yeah, there's really just not a whole lot I could do. Could move this bishop here. Then this is undefended, but he's not attacking it anymore. So I think I can do that without any immediate consequence. Regardless of how this game ends, I am very happy with my progress. 550. I'll be peaking at 550, which is very nice, but as far as this game goes, this is... yeah, this is definitely a loss if my opponent plays with any sort of common sense. Now, there is a sneaky attack I have here, because originally the knight was defending the square, so I couldn't just go in. And I think he knows that. He could also... I don't know, it's interesting. It's... Okay, well, I think he figured me out, I'm pretty sure. E4 seems like not a bad idea. If he takes with bishop, I pin the bishop. I really need to get this knight out of here. So I think I will. I'm gonna put the knight there. I have to make quick moves. I cannot think too much. I get into these habits where I think way too much, and it becomes a real issue. Quick check on all my pieces. This pawn is undefended, but it's also not being attacked currently. This bishop is undefended, and I think... Ooh. This knight is... This knight being here is just... He plays check. This does also fork my king and bishop and this pawn. If I had to guess here, he's probably going to take the free pawn. And it's also going to be check. Oh, wait, can he win my queen? But I'm sorry, if he plays that, it's not check. Wait, yes, oh! Yeah, this game, and he found it. He found it. And unfortunately for me, I have to trade out queens. That's tough. Oh! Wait. Did he not see it? He had my queen there, didn't he? Pretty sure he just had my queen there. And didn't really acknowledge it? Go back in the analysis. There's a lot to examine here in this game, which I look forward to. He has surprisingly sort of like not made much progress toward, you know, whittling down my pieces in the past 10 moves or so. I mean, I'm definitely... Okay. Could go... I have to make a move. Okay. I think I'm just gonna... The thing about me is I do not think fast. I do not have the ability to think fast. I think I can think well, but I need a lot of time to do so. And I'm also very tired right now. So we have check from the knight, and I can't take the knight because that would be check from the queen. And things are going from bad to worse for me. This game should be over extremely quickly. I'm surprised he's not trading more. He is weirdly refusing to trade any of his pieces right now. I mean, he's pretty much got me, you know, I mean, I'm trying to see another He has the tactics here. But, yeah. Yeah, this is gonna be a long analysis. I've probably played with, if I had to guess, I'd probably played with less than 70% accuracy this game, which I'm trying to aim for over 70% accuracy in my game. The original goal was over 60%, but noticed I was doing really well percentage-wise on my move, so I said, okay, well. Also gotta keep in mind, I have this knight. This is another thing I struggled with. Maybe I mentioned this earlier, but having attacks and just forgetting about them. I think I can take this knight. Does it have any trick here? Anything? I'm just taking the knight. I'm not even thinking about it. Just going for it. Just taking the knight. And I've got 19 seconds on the clock. You know, as much as I would like to say I'm going to stage a huge comeback here, I just don't have time to. And now he... Okay, moves out there. I win his queen? With 15 seconds left, I win his queen. And now I'm just... As much as I want to have hope here, I don't. Play something. We play that. We take. And this game is just about over. And I just lose on time, unfortunately. Despite my opponent throwing his queen at the end there, I just did not have enough time to capitalize on that mistake. But, yeah, definitely one of my weaker games. I do drop down to 542, which I'm not so sad about. Yeah, 55% accuracy. That's what I expected. I definitely knew this was not one of my games with over 6. Yeah, and as you can see, it rated me as a 100, as an 100 rated player. So let's just go through this. So, this is a very important... This is the U attack. And I play... Taking there is the play, okay. I bring up my bishop there, a good move. To bring out this knight, which I guess makes a little bit more sense. I could still do it. I'd do it the next turn, I believe. Oh, okay. All right, let's look here. He brings his queen out here. I respond with that. My intentions are to kick the queen. Unfortunately, I fail to see this diagonal opens up right into the rook. And I even made a note to myself on this turn, but I didn't. Just completely forgot about it. So he moves the queen there. I attack the queen again. Which, you know, is great and all. But at this point, I've forgotten about the threat on the rook. I just completely forgot about it. It's completely out of my mind now. All that's on my mind right now is I need to get this queen. I need to keep threatening this queen. That's all I'm thinking to myself right now. So he moves the queen. And at this point, you might say, okay, well, now I have to protect my rook now that the queen's, you know, in a safe spot. But instead, no. I play b5. So, and of course he takes the rook. And at this point, I could just take this bishop, right? And the best way to defend this rook would have been knight f6, which makes sense. Defends the rook and also develops a piece. And in the ensuing trade, I guess I would take with queen. Regardless, he takes the rook. And I have a hanging knight? I do have a hanging knight. Wow. So not only do I hang my rook, I play a move immediately afterwards, hanging my knight. My goal here was to trap the bishop, which the bishop is trapped, but at the expense of this knight being basically a free piece. He doesn't notice it. I didn't notice it either. Neither of us noticed it. At this point, I say, okay, I'm automatically at a disadvantage, but I'm gonna try to make the best of this. I move my pawn up. Yeah, knight here. Yeah, I could have worked my way up to the fork there. I play knight there, which... is there a hanging pawn here? There is. This pawn hangs. Which, I wasn't even thinking about this pawn. This pawn being hung was not even in my mind. It's a good thing I learned is when you move a piece, you have to not think of, just like, what are you attacking? You have to think, what did this piece defend? And it defended both this bishop and this pawn, so you leave both of them hanging. And this also pins my queen, so I unpin my queen, which was apparently not a great play. Could have just attacked the bishop. And then I would take with queen, and my queen sees this diagonal. I mean, these things seem so obvious. I did not play well this game. I should have taken with king? Really? Take with king? Yeah, I guess this does drag the queen away from this threat. And you can't castle anyways. So taking this with king doesn't really mean much, I guess. I make a mistake here. How many mistakes in a row was this? This was quite inaccuracy. Taking, obviously, mistake, inaccuracy. I mean, it's brutal. Because this, leaves this pawn hanging. So in this game, I've left 2 pawns hanging. I think 2 pawns hanging and a rook. And a knight. There's hanging so many pieces this game. So I attack the queen, which... queen can just take the rook. Could have also just taken the knight. I didn't even was paying attention to the rook. I was paying attention to the knight. Wow, I hope I don't see a game this bad within the next couple days. Because it'd be pretty difficult to play as bad as I played this game. But you never know. Anyways, if I push this pawn up... I mean, moving my knight here is really bad, because 1, hangs my knight. 2, takes this pawn, hangs the rook. I mean, giving up this pawn just led to so many problems. Like, he took the rook, then he took the pawn. It just went from bad to worse. I played check here, which was... I blatantly ignore that he can just block with pawn. So I waste a move here. I moved my queen here. Not really sure why. I just kind of felt like it had more use being over here connected to the bishop. Could move my bishop up here, which would have defended this pawn. This pawn is free right now. I'm pretty sure. Right? Yeah, it's free. I think it already was free, actually. He should have taken this pawn? Oh, really? Wait, if he takes there... Oh yeah, he had a free pawn there, too. Wow. This is, just so much going wrong for me here. Me capturing here, I get that that's a mistake, because after the trade, you are forced to move your queen. Move my queen there. Moves his knight there. I attack his knight. Which I could have attacked his bishop. Because if he takes... I guess if you give up the pawn, and then you can pin his bishop. And attack his... Yeah, that would have been nice. My bishop out there for... attack the knights. I move my knight there. Which led to a horrible situation for me. This was the point in this game where I said, yep, I'm done for. Was this fork. Which... allows him to just win this knight. Okay, so it was a fork of, let's see here. It was a fork of the, yeah. What was the, yeah, I should have just taken here. Take. Oh, I was winning material there. I straight up could have just won material. it's funny, too, because I create the threat, and I create this threat, right? And then I don't act on it. Just don't even act on the threat. Because he has to either move this knight, or, like, you know, bring in another attacker. He doesn't. And I just move my knight, which is such a passive. It's such a weak move, moving that knight. And it allows him to fork, which, you know, obvious fork? Probably. Pretty obvious. Wins the pawn, and he could have queen traded here, I think, right? Taken. That's what I would have done. It was considering he was up so much material. And at this point, queen there. Should have queen traded. This thing is saying I should have gone for the queen trade. I guess I would have taken the pressure off a little bit. And then apparently me moving my king here was forced checkmate. Check. Check. And that's checkmate. Wow. Wow, that would have been nasty. I did not see that. How is that? Yeah, this is something like forced checkmate. That is just at the level I'm at. That is not something I can see. I mean, I guess in simpler terms, you're just leaving this pawn undefended, which can transpire into forced checkmate. He doesn't see the forced checkmate. You know, we trade pawns. This is forced, right? That's forced. And then this, I win his queen, and I could have won his rook too. Wow. I mean, despite having 6 seconds left, like, you know, I mean, I took 9 seconds on. It's funny. The rook was right there. I took 9 seconds. Just move the bishop. Just giving up the bishop. He doesn't take it. Wait, what? Why would he not? Takes and just doesn't take? Man. Yeah, overall, a very gross game, but we'll come back tomorrow. Win tomorrow. Did win a great game today. The first game. Was really happy about that. Really great game. Then a really terrible game. But thank you guys for watching. I'll be back tomorrow for day 4.